This is one of the best podcasts I've done in a long time. We want to continue with this conversation. I'm going to write we're going to do an article on this, and we're going to publish. It's going to be available in the Neoliberal Corporation journals and posts and feeds. We're also going to publish it we're going to try and publish it in different publishing journals, because this is deep. You want to hear this. This is great. We are talking with Raymond Dingle Jr., the president of RDJB Lending, which is part of a larger corporation, and we're going to be working with him. He has a lot of information, and his goal is to invest in people. His goal is to empower people. This is great. Raymond, I have one last question. You said you talk about W-2 employees and so on. We want to build on that. What's going on in the U.S. today in terms of the dollar and so on, and the U.S. currency? I believe that the U.S. has a lot to answer for. That's what coming up next on the Neoliberal Realm podcast with Raymond Dingle Jr., president of RDJB Lending. It was quite a powerful and highly informative conversation with LB3. It was quite powerful, and please, you would want to stay for the entire show today. It promises to be powerful, it promises to be interesting, and it promises to blow your mind. And just so you know, I did speak with I think the president, Mr. Dingle, had sent a tweet earlier, and I wanted to read it because when I was doing a promo on Twitter for this particular show that was coming up, he had posted something which I have to, responding to a tweet that I had said. I tweeted, or the Neoliberal Corporation's Twitter page had sent out a tweet saying, coming up shortly in the Neoliberal Realm podcast, Raymond Dingle Jr. at RDJB Lending, RDJB Lending, and Ronaldo McKenzie, host and creator of the Neoliberal Realm, discuss the importance of buying tangible assets as the US dollar is no longer backed by gold, and BRIC's efforts to make the dollar tertiary. Of course, he responded saying that indeed BRIC is working feverishly to weaken the US dollar with several moves to prop up cryptocurrency and to just jettison the US dollar, and even trying to influence other countries to do so through stealth and strategic pressure. Nevertheless, we are the largest spenders and will not collapse. And he commented on this. He actually made this statement while on the show today, and talk about how we can, of course, navigate the lending industry, and provided some more solutions and recommendations and what his company provides, the support that you can get from his company, his lending business. This is the Neoliberal Corporation. We'll be right back after these messages. We are back with Raymond Dingle Jr., the president of Raymond Dingle Jr. Business Lending. And now I get it. Well, go on. Welcome back.
Welcome
And
back.
let me tell you, I have been sitting here with Raymond, and we have been involved in some intense conversation about his business. And I actually brought up a website, and the website says the best home loan lenders in 2023. And I'm looking at fund.com, and they show Quicken Loans, AmeriSafe, so on and so forth. But you're saying that you are not necessarily involved in mortgage financing.
I am mortgage finance, but more importantly, I am business financing is what my number one product is. I finance businesses. If you have a business, I can finance you in any and all aspects.
In any, guys, I'm writing. Are you guys getting this? Okay, what are some of the business? As earlier you mentioned hard money lending.
Yep.
And by the way, the U.S. economy is about. Do you believe that we're about to go into a recession?
100%. 1000%.
Justin March sent a TikTok video about some China. What's going on with this China? What's going on there?
They are basically trying to, like in basketball, they call it box out. They're trying to box out the United States dollar. Meaning that China, Brazil, Russia,
India, the BRIC countries.
Yeah, they want to replace the U.S. dollar as the number one currency in the world, meaning that it will be a tertiary currency.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the dollar being now worth 50 cents?
To make it tertiary. Example. They want it to be so that's why they are dumping the US dollar.
Correct.
And hoarding up the cryptocurrency.
And at the same time trying to make the yen and all the other currencies the number one currency. The United States did away with backed currency in the 70s. The US was backed by gold, strongest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We're not anymore, and we haven't been, and we've been living off of this dream for the past 50 years, and the dream is slowly dying.
So what is it that backed the US dollar now?
Nothing.
Just reputation.
It's reputation.
It's like we're in the Nike.
Yes, reputation.
Oh, wow.
It's thin air. It's nothing. It's nothing. That's why it is so important that people buy tangible assets. Yeah. Credit is made out of thin air. It's made out of thin air. So if you can obtain thin air, it has nothing back behind it. But you can turn around and buy something that is tangible and real asset that is going to increase in value. You've done something that most people don't do. Most people work 30, 50, 100 hours and they get the paper. Sorry.
That's fun.
They get the paper. Now the paper, if we let Europe and everybody in China do what they want to do, won't be worth what we get. It'll be worth less. But if you can go and get a business loan or financing, it's not paper, it's money, it's air.
Yeah.
So if you can now buy an asset with the air, now you've created something that's sustainable. It's never going to go down. It's always going to go up. That's why it's important for people to understand the power of buying something,
having
that is an asset, a physical asset. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
But as long as it's a physical asset.
Like my books would be an asset.
The book, physical, anything would be asset.
Wow, listen, man. This guy is my fraternal line brother who used to be a banking executive. In fact, I was able to get a loan many years ago to buy a car because you put me on you recommended Santander and something. I was able to get a loan for that. So I'm talking to somebody who's been in the business, who's provided great advice. And that's why I'm looking forward to working with RDJB, the Neoliberal Round, the Neoliberal Corporation, Ronaldo McKenzie. We are going to be working with them, along with the other stuff that we do. I said we are about serving the world today to solve tomorrow's challenges. By doing what? By making popular what was the monopoly. And this is salacious news.
Yes.
This is good. I love it. This is what people want to hear. Yeah. And in African American communities and in many vulnerable communities, and people in general, they're not studying to know what's going on.
Unfortunately, not. It is not something that is passed on readily in the black and brown community, unlike other communities, where it is normal conversation at the dinner table.
What is hard money lending? You said you provide hard money lending.
Sure, hard money
lending. How is it different from? Is it the same thing like business finances?
It is because a hard money loan is normally for a company to purchase assets, some kind of a real estate, or some kind of a tangible thing. And the technical name of it is a non-purpose business entity mortgage or loan. That's the technical name for it. Yeah. So this is all it is. It's just a business loan. That's what it is. Right? And so
if I want to start I have books and stuff. I want to start a bookstore with a little coffee shop and promote the printing press. And
100%.
For example, I teach a college at the Jamaica Theological Seminary. They don't have a printing press. They said, how can I have a college or university and don't have a printing press? We need money to develop a printing press for that school and sell books from that university. Mm-hmm. But of course, in overseas school, you work with Americans only. Correct. You don't go outside.
I can do real estate outside. Caribbeans. I can actually do real estate in the Caribbean. I have a $400 million deal right now in St. Croix.
Wait, so if I want to buy a property in Jamaica right now,
yes,
I can get the funding. Here in the U.S. to buy the property in Jamaica.
Yes, as long as the value is high enough, yes. Absolutely.
Guys, this is good to know. It's good to have fraternity brothers like this one, my fraternal brother. You know what I mean? And let me tell you, this guy is amazing. And he's Jamaican. Yeah, Jamaican in him.
So listen, my family's somewhere along the lines.
Yes,
there. That's what I've been told several times.
God sent people at the right time. I've been really struggling, and I'm sharing. I've developed. I told. If you follow the podcast, you will know that if you listen to the podcast, I said it's not good to be superficial. It's good that people must know what's going on in your life, but because how can they help you? You can't live a facade, you can't live a lie, you can't believe everything is fine, everything is not fine. I need finance, I need funding. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that I was able to speak with you about that and I was able to connect with you. Whatever you're going through in your life, it's good talk. People need to have conversation.
Correct.
Okay, not just trying to look good. We need to, and I said to people, what's going on? No, what's going on? What is really going on? What are and then of course we talk about how can I help you? How can we partner? How can we? And that's very important. And that's the beauty about koinonia.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
I tattooed this when I was pledging koinonia. By the way, our dad died. Our fraternity dean died.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But koinonia is a recognition that what you have doesn't belong to you. You're just a steward of it, holding it for the brothers. You know what? Where do you see Raymond Dingle Jr. business lending? Where is it going? What's the goal?
The goal. So ultimately, there's a larger company, Infinity Enterprises, which is our parent company, our holding company, and we have a host of different other products, clothing lines, a plethora of things. But ultimately, the goal is to control everything, but own nothing.
Oh, I love that.
That's the ultimate goal.
Donald Trump's strategy.
Yeah, my father philosophies on that a lot.
Yes.
Growing up as a kid, my father and my uncle had 17 businesses all together, and that's what they did. They ran everything, owned everything, they controlled everything, but they didn't necessarily own anything directly, and they got paid through the companies as anybody else. And that's the way you kind of grow your business. And nothing is permanent, and if you do fail, then just pick yourself up, start again. That's the beautiful part of having a business, is you can fail and you can start all over again.
Because it's not an event, it's a process.
It's a process. Absolutely.
By the way, I did a podcast yesterday on mentoring, and we said mentoring is not necessarily an event, it's a process. And if you're committed to an event, you will fail. But if you're committed to a process, you will stay there for the long haul. You have to work and work again and trial and error, see what worked, what didn't work, and then of course, develop your supports.
Yeah, ultimately, if you like a stock, if you get in on the ground floor and ultimately you stay the course, eventually should go up, right? But maybe stock is not the best example.
Yeah.
Real property is a better example because you can buy a property today in a small little town in Humboldt, Tennessee, where my family is from.
Yeah.
Property values down there are extremely low. You can buy a house down there for $35,000.
Oh my God.
And
$35,000.
yeah, $35,000.
Woo!
And you can rent it out for Section 8, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. You can put military veterans in there, $700 a room. And that property eventually, 30 years from now, will be worth $175,000. It will never go down. It won't depreciate. It won't do anything. And you continue to make the money if you rent it out. Again, all over the country, the United States of America is for sale. And I say it again, the United States of America is for sale. Yes. And you just have to be committed to do that. But some people don't want to do that. Some people just not, they don't want to own real estate. They don't want to do that. They want to be a worker and work every day, 9 to 5. And
you're like
somebody
me.
Tell you
what to do, yes,
and
then when you are done, you retire and finish. What have you done?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Okay,
and then you come to find out, all this money I put in my 401k, it's now worth nothing.
Nothing.
You know?
Guys, follow the Neoliberal Around podcast and the Neoliberal Corporation. What we're about, because we're about big stuff like RDJB lending, Raymond Dingle Jr. lending, and Xfinity Enterprises. And we are actually doing a business with Xfinity where we're working on their websites. We're doing some business with them. We are, guys, I'm telling you, don't take us for granted. Don't take us for granted. With the right connections, you'll go places. And I'm so happy to be a brother of my LB3. That's, right. That's my brother Raymond here. And that's why I tell people, when you go to college, don't just think about getting an education. It's more than that. When you finish high school and get into college, don't just think about getting education. Networking. Develop networking. You know what I mean? And I remember Reverend Chris Brown, Dean said to me, "You now have brothers." I'll never forget that. Every time I think about Chris, God rest his soul, and he just recently died. He said, "You now have brothers." He looked at me sternly, in a profound way. I said, "You now have brothers."
I remember that.
And, in a sense, and that was, I needed brothers in a sense. Not that I don't have a brother.
And so did I. In my life, what I was going through at that time, I needed it too. So
I'm going through stuff right now, and I believe that it's good to know that I have brothers. I have a family, but they are stern. They're strict with me. The ideas that you just shared with me about how people think about working. Oh, they want you to work 9 to 5. 12 to 12. Yeah. And so on and so forth. But when you have somebody in your family, Ivy League education, connections, working, setting up stuff, developing skills, writing books, academic textbooks, you want to support that. You want to come together. How can we support our people? That's what's going on in African American communities and families. We haven't learned the Jewish way. We haven't learned. Donald Trump's way. Donald Trump. Okay. You want to learn from these people. As much as people have bad things to say about Donald Trump and the Jews and so on, you want to learn from them.
Yeah, and listen, you take the good and the bad, and you try to develop your own path. And God doesn't do anything without purpose.
Oh, God doesn't do anything without purpose. I love that. Listen, guys, Raymond, this is a short show. Raymond is going to be with us on a weekly basis for the podcast, talking about finance and lending. This story about coming out with the U.S. do you think that the U.S. dollar is going to collapse anytime soon?
I don't think it will collapse. Again, we are the largest spender on the planet. We spend more money than the next 5 countries combined. So because of that, that will not happen. But do I think our currency will drop? Yeah, it will. And there are going to be other things that are going to come in. They've been trying to push this for a long time, crypto and all this other digital currency. But again, it's digital currency. It's not worth anything. It's
just like money. It's paper.
Just like when you go online and your money is now in your bank. It's digital money now. It's not worth anything unless you pull it out and it's in your hand.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything. That's why we talk about infinite banking and how you can become your own bank, how you can eat off of the interest yourself as opposed to the larger companies. Remember, I used to be a vice president for a very, very large institution.
Yes.
And
just so you guys know,
we used to sweep money every day. We swept money every day. At the end of the night, we swept it over to our universal whole life insurance policy. And that policy paid, at the time, 31% interest. At the time, 20 years ago.
Oh.
Every night we swept over $10 billion.
Yeah.
And it earned 32% every single
Why
month.
are the banks charging small people like me all these fees and making it difficult for, if they are sweeping money, and why are they so hard on the small man? Why?
So
it's just, I just don't understand.
I don't know the 100% answer to that question, but I do know that the cycle is that small business owners create W-2 employees for the government. W-2 employees pay the government. They fund the government. So as many employees as I or any business owner can make, the government will give that person or that business an incentive to do more of just that. They want you to continuously do that.
Oh my, wow.
It's a circle. And the more breaks and tax benefits they give you, the more people you will hire. And the more people you hire become W-2s, and they pay the government taxes, 35%, 40% every year. And most people stay in that race.
So that is what, I mean, so they want W-2 people.
Yes,
they want, so that
100%.
they, oh my,
that's why the narrative and the education is worker. You must work. They don't want you to become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
They don't really want
they say that in one side of the mouth. But they
don't really want you to become an entrepreneur.
The US forced other countries in the 70s and over the 60s, the 70s, 80s to devalue. The Jamaican dollar at one time either rivaled or was stronger than the US dollar. Over time, the US pressured the Jamaicans to devalue their currency. And then through IMF and structural adjustment and penetration, the Jamaican dollar now is worth $100. One US dollar is 150 something Jamaican dollar. So, in a sense, the US has also acted strategically, okay, which has affected other countries of the global South, which creates dependent capitalism in these countries. Now, these BRIC countries and these other countries now, in a sense, they have learned their lesson. They're studying economic strategy, and now they're trying to now do what the US did to them.
That is correct.
Okay, so the US should not. It's all about. It's a game of competition. It's about strategy now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I hope the Caribbean learned their lesson. Okay. All right, and but I'm an American, so I always want America to win now. Okay. I want America to win, but which America? That's the question. Anyways, you have the last words.
All I can say is the power is within the people, right? At the end of the day, if you have a passion, if you have a skill set that you feel like you can monetize, I would strongly encourage you to do so, because everyone is given a purpose. God's gift to everyone is a talent. Everyone has a talent to do something.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, you can do it. And again, since everything is for sale now, you could sell whatever talent you have.
Yes.
You can monetize that, and I encourage everyone to do so. And by doing that, you create an economy that circles around and around and around.
Yes. Wow. You are deep, man. You are deep, but you're my fraternity brother.
I know.
Okay, wait, let's do it. By the way, that was a good. The last part, the video that we did, I love the introduction and how we did it. It was so cavalier. It was beautiful. You are listening to Raymond Dingle Jr., the president of RDJB Lending, and he's also an executive and probably part owner of Xfinity Enterprises.
Yeah.
And myself and the neoliberal, we're going to be part of that, because we're about what making popular what was the monopoly. That is the aim of communication, and that is how we will be able to serve the world today to solve tomorrow's challenges. Please visit us at rjdblending.com, or you can visit us at theneoliberal.com and ronaldocmckenzie.com. Please get a copy of my book, Neoliberalism, Globalization, Income Inequality, Poverty and Resistance. We will be having book signings soon, so stay tuned for that, and our book tour. And please, the new book, Neoliberal Globalization Reconsidered, New Capitalism and the Death of Nations, will be launched soon. We're hoping that A Market will publish that book, but if not, we will publish it through Palmetto Publishing and have it available all over the world. This is the Neoliberal Room Podcast. Please send us a feedback, donate to the show, anchor.fm/the-neoliberal/support. And we're thinking about going subscription, but we want to make this podcast free. But you have to donate. If you donate to the show, any amount, then we will continue to make it free. But if we are lacking in donations, then we're going to have to do something to generate funding. And we need the funding to make the program, to expand our programming. So donate to us. We need your donations. Any amount, anchor.fm/the-neoliberal/support, and subscribe for free. What good? And we are done. Wow. I fully enjoyed that conversation. Just so you know, we have a poll. We have a poll question that's attached or linked with this podcast episode, and it is available on Twitter. It's available also on the Spotify platform. We will try and have it available on our LinkedIn and Reddit pages. The question is, do you believe that the US dollar will become a tertiary currency? A tertiary currency, given BRIC's attempts to weaken the US dollar by disposing of the US dollar for the cryptocurrency? You can participate by responding to the poll questions we have on the Spotify again, or on our Twitter page. And also, if you would like to participate, by the way, if you'd like to participate in this podcast, if you'd like to be featured on the Neoliberal Realm podcast, please send us an email, ronaldocmckenzie@gmail.com. Ronaldo spelled Renaldo, Ronaldo C as in cat, McKenzie McKenzie @gmail.com, and we will work out the details for you. If you would like to send us, if you'd like to advertise on our show, please send us your ads and let us talk. And one final thing, if you have any business lending questions or any business lending needs, then we might be able to help you. RBDJ Lending, Raymond Dingle might be able to help you and provide you with the solutions or some recommendations. That's what they're about. That's what they do. Reach out to them at https://RG sorry, I apologize. RDJB Lending, RDJB Business Lending, RDJBbusinesslending.com. Again, you can reach out to them by going to https://rdjblending.com, rdjblending.com, and they will help you in whatever ways they can. And please let them know that you heard about them by listening to the podcast. It is a powerful and the most profound podcast, and we appreciate your support. What good?